I entered a hallway. There were no doors, only a faint glow at the end that beckoned me forward. As I stepped into the space, the hairs on my arms and neck stood on end. It was as if the very air around me was watching, waiting. And then I saw them. Faceless, silent figures stood motionless, their eyes hollow sockets staring into the abyss. They were tall and thin, like skeletal fingers pointing towards the heavens, but they weren't human. Their skin was stretched taut over their bones, their limbs impossibly thin, like a spider's legs. Some had hands, but they were gnarled and twisted, more like the legs of a crab. And some didn't have any hands at all, just stumps where flesh and bone should be. There were about a dozen of these figures standing in a row, each one more grotesque than the last. I wanted to scream, to run, but I couldn't. My feet were rooted to the spot, my body a prisoner in a tomb of my own terror. The silence was deafening. Not a sound could be heard, not a breath, not a whisper. It was as if the very concept of noise had been erased from this place. One of the figures shifted. I whipped around, my heart pounding against my ribs like a trapped bird. But it was just a trick of the light. Or was it? I blinked, trying to focus. When I looked back, the figure had vanished. I rubbed my eyes, certain that what I was seeing was a hallucination brought on by fatigue and stress. But when I looked again, the figure was still gone. Then I noticed something else. The shadows along the walls and ceiling were moving too, twisting and writhing like living things. They formed grotesque shapes that resembled the figures, elongated limbs, twisted torsos, gaping maws filled with needle-sharp teeth. The shadows danced and swayed, guiding me deeper and deeper into the unknown. I wanted to call out, to beg for help, but my voice was trapped inside me, a prisoner of my own fear. I stumbled forward, my eyes fixed on the flickering lights at the end of the hallway. The figures seemed to be beckoning me, their silent voices echoing in the chambers of my heart. I felt their gazes upon me, heavy and suffocating. And as I walked, I just knew that there was no escape from this place, from these figures, from the darkness that enveloped me. I was trapped forever in the hall of silent figures.